In this lab, we're going to investigate whether increasing the mass on the block has any effect on static friction or coefficient of static friction or the slip angle. So we'll need to set up a spreadsheet. So let's include our headings. We'll include all our forces. Okay, so we'll start with the mass that's given in the simulation. So again, it randomly generates it. So I'm just going to use this one as the starting mass in grams. So 537. So we'll start putting formula in for this first one and then we'll copy down. So we're going to convert this to kilograms. So we enter equals, select the cell, and then divide, which is the / divided by 1000. Actually, before we go on, I'm just going to put in another column and make it the slip angle in radians. We'll just go here and I'll just do one measurement just to show you what we're going to do in terms of converting the angle from degrees to radians. So I'll collect this first bit of data. Okay, I missed it, but I'm just going to go with 22 just for the purposes. Okay, so we'll just go with 22 for the moment. And to convert that to radians, it's equal radians, open bracket, select the cell, close bracket. Okay, so we're going to enter the formula for the weight force, but we'll need to put in a constant value of minus 9.8 newtons per kilogram for the gravitational field strength. So I'll just enter it over here. Just say this is G and we'll put it in here. So negative 9.8. I'll just put the units next to it. Okay, so over here, now we're going to put the formula. So we go the weight force equals the mass in kilograms. So you select that cell times, and then come over here, select this cell, but before you press enter, you need to go to the top row of the keyboard and press the F4. If you can't find it, you just need to put a $sign in front of both the column and the row. So if we go enter, okay, and that means that every time if we copy this formula down, it stays at that cell here. Okay, so now that we've got the weight force and the angle, we can work out our force components. So the force perpendicular equals the weight force, so this cell here, and then times, and just like in the formula, it's cos theta, but instead of it being degrees angle, we need to use the radians. So we take that value and go equals. Okay, that gives us a negative value, which is what we're expecting. And now the formula for our parallel component, so that's equals the weight force times sine angle in radians. So this is only when we're using spreadsheet. Your calculator calculates in degrees if it's set for degrees. So enter, and then we'll just reduce the number of decimal places. Okay, and so what we recall is that the normal force is equal and opposite to the perpendicular force. So we get equals so we just have to go equals the perpendicular force component times, which is an asterisk, -1. And for the friction force, it's the parallel force times -1. Okay, we can copy the formulas down. So we need to copy this one down. So let's say we're going to grab that many bits of data. And then we've got formula, all of these formulas. So we just select all of these cells and then we drag it down. So we click that little, not click it, but just point to that little box till it's that crossbar and then drag down. Okay, so I'll just collect a few more bits of data, and then what we'll do is we will graph these two columns. So we'll graph frictional force versus the normal force and see what that looks like. So I'm going to come back here, and all I need to do is click reset, and then I increase that. Now I'm just going to click it once and then go with that value. Okay, so 590. And then measure the angle. Okay, just remember the first time I did it, it was pretty rough, so make a note of that. And I'll do 2 more. Okay, I'll just show you how to do the graphing. So we just need to we'll just select the data that we've got so far. And I need to go insert chart. Okay, if it does this, we need to, okay, it's out of the screen. Just 1 minute. We need to change the type of graph. So scroll down to the scatter graph and select that one. Then we go to, let's just check if I use row 1 as headers. Okay, it's not going to matter. Alright, just leave that. We'll come over to customize, go to series. First thing I do is change circle to cross. Okay, I will want a trend line, and I will also want where it says label to show use equation. Okay, and that gives us the equation here. So frictional force equals, that's our gradient times x plus where it crosses the y-axis. So we need to, if it hasn't properly put in our labels for the x and y axis, we need to come and do that. So scroll up, close that, go to chart axis and titles, x-axis, which is the normal force, and our y-axis, which is frictional force. We probably should put our units in. And that's static friction, of course. And we also want to make sure our axes come back to 0. So horizontal axis, where it says minimum, press 0. And that we can see we've got an error here, which is good because that was that first value which I did, which was pretty rough. So that's probably causing that gradient to be out. Okay, so I'll just put the chart title. We'll just go with static friction. Maybe put a subtitle of coefficient. And I think that's it. So have a look at what the formula is saying. Go back to your predictions. Can you say what was the relationship between if you increase the weight force or the mass of the object? What effect has that had on the forces involved? What effect has it had on the coefficient? So you need to compare that back to here. So that was our expected, so 0.39. What has it got here? Okay, as I said, there's an error there, but that was probably that first bit of data that I collected. And also, what about the angle? What was your prediction about the slip angle?